On the evening of April 27, 1993, a DHC-5 Buffalo transport aircraft of the Zambian Air Force crashed into the Atlantic Ocean shortly after taking off from Libreville, Gabon. The flight was carrying most of the Zambia national football team to a 1994 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Senegal in Dakar. Drawn against Morocco and Senegal in round 2 of the preliminaries, Zambia were to fly to West Africa in late April 1993 to play the latter in their opening match. To help with the long journey from the south to the west, the Zambian Air Force had arranged for a special vessel to carry the locally based squad members to Dakar, where the tie was to be played, with stops in Brazzaville, Libreville, and Abidjan scheduled to offset the length of the travel. The flight took off on April 27, 1993, from Lusaka, carrying 18 players and several other squad members, along with the airline's staff. In Brazzaville, where the aircraft briefly paused en route to their ultimate destination, problems with the left engine were fast detected by those present but overlooked in favor of a return to the air. The flight reached its second stop, Libreville, Gabon, unscathed, but the disaster occurred not long after it had taken off again for Abidjan. Initially, the left engine caught fire before faulty display and fatigue caused the pilot to erroneously shut down the right engine instead in a last-ditch attempt to salvage the situation. The aircraft lost all power consequently and plunged into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Gabon, taking the lives of all 30 individuals aboard. All 30 people on board died in the crash. 24 bodies were recovered, but only 13 could be identified. Get this. The aircraft entered service in 1975. The plane had been out of service for 5 months from late 1992 until April 21, 1993. Test flights were carried out on the 22nd and the 26th of April. Prior to the departure for Senegal, checks revealed a number of defects in the engine, carbon particles in oil filters, disconnected cables, and trace of heating. However, the flight went ahead as scheduled. The members of the national team killed in the crash were buried in what became known as Heroes Acre, just outside the Independence Stadium in Lusaka. In May 2002, $4 million was given to families of the deceased players in compensation. The surviving few who were not on the ill-fated flight by sheer luck or a twist of fate, including team captain Kalusha Bwalya, Charles Muzanda, Johnson Bwalya, and Bennett Molwanda Simfuk, shocked, devastated, then mourning the loss of their close friends and acquaintances, faced up to the difficult task of having to complete Zambia's World Cup qualifiers and then prepare for the upcoming African Nations Cup, which was only months away to be hosted in Tunisia. They began to recreate the national team from whatever pieces remained. Reassembled but with the scars of the tragedy still in their hearts, Zambia football welcomed Morocco to Lusaka on July 4, 1993, mere months after the plane crash, for a crucial fixture. A FIFA World Cup berth was still to play for, but more than that, there was a chance for the Chipolopolo to ease the pain that had swept over the nation. The heartstrings of the 50,000 present inside the Independence Stadium. It was a victory for Zambian football, a triumph of the Zambian spirit. Against all the odds, an unfancied Zambia team went one better and won the 2012 AFCON final in Libreville, the city in Gabon where the doomed flight carrying the 1993 team had crashed minutes after taking off. A tragic story had come full circle. As fate would have it, Zambia would eventually win a Continental Cup, their only one at the time of writing, in 2012. The significance of the success, achieved under Frenchman Hervé Renard, was monumental, with the Chipolopolo beating Ivory Coast in Libreville, the site of the tragedy, to lift their maiden continental title. The Zambian delegation had paid their respect to the 1993 squad by tossing flowers off the beach into the Atlantic Ocean days before the penalty shootout win over their much stronger opponents. In one incredible night, they would turn the place of the nation's greatest horror into one of its most important triumphs.